Last season was successful. We won the league. We won the Rock Cup. We're into Europe. But I'm telling you, we've started really well in Europe this year, and I think we're going to make some great progress in the coefficients. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Matt, and coming up on today's video, we've got two games for you from the one from the Gibraltar League and one from the European League. I'm going to try and not give any spoilers away. I'm going to show you a little bit of a rundown of where we are in Europe right now and, you know, what that's going to do for us. Okay, so from finishing first in the league last year, we do enter the first qualifying round of the Champions League, whereby we played Dynamo TB. Dynamo TB of the Georgian National League, where we comfortably got past these over two legs, 3-0. Oh, making sure the mic's on there. I thought it was off. Basically, this was a solid couple of results for us. As you can see, we then played Young Boys in the next path knockout round of the Champions League proper. We absolutely battered them at the stadium Wankdorf 3-1, which was fantastic. Took them back to our stadium and we drew one each. Took the lead there as well, but we got through the tie overall. Our keeper had a banger of a game, as he started to do before he got injured, but I'll go into that later. We then played Cluj in the third path qualifying round, where we did beat them over two legs 1-0. And as you can see, we did get right to the Champions League path playoff final, or playoff, let's call it, to get into the Champions League proper, where we did lose at 6-4 on aggregate overall, which is a shame. Rangers are the far better side, to be fair. But you know what? We got really far in this Champions League playoff, which actually led to us so far having £10.1 million in the bank, more than we've ever had. So we're going to have to put all of that into investing into our training facilities this year. That means, though, we've started life in the Europa League proper, without having to qualify in there. We're not in the Conference League. So, and as you can see, we've won our first game 5-1. And a little bit of how we've started to get that form going and why that team started to play very well. We've been very successful in the transfer market this year. I'm going to show you a couple of highlights, not everybody. First and foremost, Colin van Houten. This guy is a baller. 19-year-old Dutch central midfield playmaker. Look at these stats. First touch, elite. Passing, fantastic. Technique, elite. All of his mentals are pretty much decent. Leadership, not that great, but I don't need him for that. I need him to make an impact on the pitch, and so far, he has done. On top of that, I was desperate for a new ball-winning midfielder, and up pops 19-year-old Osman Diarra on a free transfer, and he is just the ticket, right? 12 marking. Tackling could do some improvements, to be fair. Great work rate, great stamina. So this guy can get about the pitch. Bit injury prone, I'm yet to see that start to play through, but overall, he's now our first choice ball-winning midfielder, which we desperately needed. This guy, Bryce Segura, honestly, I've played this guy down a little bit. Didn't play him too much at the start of the season, but I'll tell you what, this guy is solid, right? He's going to be our attacking midfielder in the cam role. I've got a few that can play there right now, to be fair, but for an 18-year-old, he's looking just fabulous, right? I mean, look at all the blues in here. You know, vision, technique, passing, off the ball, decisions, composure could do a little bit extra to match that decision making and vision. But I'm telling you, this guy is an elite talent for the future. I just need to put that Champions League money into developing my training facilities so I can get these guys developing better. But I'm telling you, this guy is going to be solid for us. He did get a bit hump with me because I've had to leave him out of a couple of European registration windows because, as ever, I'm struggling to get homegrown in nation players in Gibraltar to be good enough to play in these leagues. So you have to sacrifice spots. And unfortunately, I have to keep rotating people in to stop them shouting at me, and he's one of them. I needed a backup ball-winning midfielder, so Tiago Insaurralde, I'm going to call him, on loan from River. He'll do bits for us, but I needed a backup really, because if Diarra was injured, I had no one that would be able to fit that model, and he can. Not very consistent mind, very aggressive, but I like his technique, I like his marking and passing, and I like the way that, you know, a bit like me, a bit smaller than most, a little bit aggressive, but he's got an engine. Like it. Ismail Sadiq, he was the guy that I needed for right back. Initially, I thought right back cover, but as of now, the right back, because I needed someone that could just come in, do a great job, But then I worried I didn't have enough people in there. So I ended up getting Gonçalo Atilano on loan from VTSC in the Portuguese Premier League because I needed someone who's going to be my first choice right back, someone who's going to develop during the season, and this guy will. There's nothing left in the development tank for Ismaila Sadiq, but Gonçalo Atilano is the guy that will probably start most of the games and hopefully develop during the season, and he could then be the backup. I then got Marko Lukovic as a left back because I do play Gadalcio in there in the main, but I needed someone to be here with us who will just constantly remain in competition for that left back spot, and we do have Marko Lukovic for that. And lastly, I was really worried that all my eggs were in Victor's basket in terms of goal scoring. If he got injured, we were up Pooh Creek without any paddles whatsoever. So I signed Gabriel Silva on loan from Sporting, and I'll tell you what, this guy is class. 20 years old. Look at these technicals. 15 dribbling, 16 finishing, first touches class as well. He's great off the ball. And actually, he's probably going to keep Victor out of the limelight. That said, this guy can also play right wing as well, so he's going to get games. We are going to rotate quite heavily, but this is our main forward this year. I went in the market for a backup, but I don't know. Does anyone else struggle going for backups? I end up just trying to get the team better every single time, and this is one tip that somebody once gave me. It was Big Robbo. Big Robbo said, don't ever get attached emotionally to your players because you're going to have to get rid of them at some point. And this is prime example. I love this guy. What a season he had last year. 38 goals in all competitions. But if Gabriel does better, I'm cool with that. Now, we made a whole host of transfers in and out, loanees and so on and so forth. I won't go through them all, but what I will say is that you'll see them in action throughout the Save series and also over on Twitch. If you want to come and join, most nights we're at Twitch. We've got a great little community there, you know, talking about all things Football Manager saves and Build a Nation. So come on down. You will see the Twitch username rotating somewhere in the screen right now. But today we're going to see two games. First up, we're going to play our away tie against Mons Calpe, where we are heavily the favourites. I think we beat them convincingly twice last year. In fact, what was the score last year, so we can reference that? So you can probably see that above my head, maybe not right now, but essentially the first time we played Mons Calpe, we beat them 6-1, and then the last time we played them in the league, we then beat them 4-2. So convincingly, but you're going to see us play them today, and also you're going to see a European game against young boys who we did beat in the Champions League qualifying stages, and we've drew them again in the league phase of Europa League. So hopefully we can get another win on the board there, maybe even climb the European League even further. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is the team to play Mons Calpe in the away fixture. We've got Herbert Graxic in net. He's our backup keeper because, unfortunately, our main head in Adilson Barros is injured at the moment. An 18-year-old, I say wonder kid. He's probably not a wonder kid technically, but he looks fabulous. So he's our first teamer. He's injured. We've got a back four of Atilano, Williams, Victor and Gadalcio, a midfield pair of Diarra and Van Houten, a right wing in Agius, left inside forward in Jadon Sancho, Segura, Bryce Baby in midfield, and Gabriel Silva up top. Now, the challenge we've got is that we've got a lot of good players in this squad. We have to really balance now, keeping people happy this year from both a European registration perspective and also game time. And also, like, I'm trying to pick the best team for every game, but what I've found is in this league, you don't necessarily need that. However, it's the first game of the season. I want to start strong, so I'm starting the best possible team that I can, albeit I think I'm going to just switch this guy out, actually, for Felipe, because he looks like he'd be a good, sure person to get on the bench, off the bench at some point today. And I might also take off Maximo Johnson, because I can move that around a bit. I'm going to put Thiago Insurralde on the bench as well. So let's go to this fixture. Those with the eagle eye will realise that I've made one less sub available on the bench. There's a reason for that. I haven't got enough homegrown players at club to be able to pick a full squad. There's 4 needed in the match day. I've got 2 on the bench and 1 in the starting lineup in Jamie Victor. So you have to sacrifice a spot on the bench to compensate, which I have done. I can get by with that. That's not a problem. You'll also notice I've got no face packs on. Silly me, but I've not quite done that from my last save yet. I got a new PC and I've just forgot to put them on, so I'll do that shortly. Well, teams are coming out. Look at this number 12 here. I mean, it's Gadalcio, right? He's a bit of a beast. I'm sure it's Gadalcio, actually. But nevertheless, we're kicked off. And The first highlights, ours on the counter from a minute in. Sancho's got the ball out left. He's going to tear it down the left wing and play it back. Ultra attacking as ever. Never mind. We look like we're controlling the ball well early doors. Big switch across the pitch, and we give it away straight away. Look at that guy. Looks like his name's called Mai Zidane. I think it's Mai Zian, but yeah, fair play. Can we nick that ball up top? We cannot. Mons Calpe are not the best side in this league by any stretch of the imagination. We've played them numerous times over the years. I think we've always done relatively well against them, last year especially. But, Jayden, come on, lad. But, yeah, never worried about a team like this. What a ball that was through to Silva. Silva's through on goal. Is he going to finish it? He does. Delightful first goal of the season. First league assist for Jadon Sancho as well in the first 5 minutes. Well, 2 minutes, but within the first 5 minutes of the game, we take a 1-0 lead, and Sancho's got a great part to play in it, as he should play in the entire season. Let's not forget, he's in his prime. He's ex-United, he's ex-Chelsea, he's ex-Dortmund. We forget his stint at City, but still, he is now a Man 62 player, and I kind of still can't believe it, really. We are dominating this game. The possession does not tell that story, though, because we've had barely 30% of it. But, I mean, let's be fair. It doesn't matter. When you're leading 1-0, keep the ball all you want. As long as we lead 1-0 at least at the end, the 3 points remain in our bag. However, we're on the counter to Sancho. Sancho to Silva. Silva is doing really well running with the ball here. This feels like a great signing from us, and he probably should have tested the keeper there rather than bing it to the left. Oh, actually, he did test the keeper. My bad, or at least tested somebody. So Segura on the corner. Segura into the near post. Oh, just wide from Diarra, I think it was, who is our ball-winning midfielder, who is 6'5", with a jumping reach of 16, who can practically head the clouds, albeit he didn't head the ball in the direction of back of the net. Never mind, it's still 1-0. Gadalcio's looking a bit tired, though. I've not got a left-back backup on the bench, because I haven't got that at the moment. We've got Agius. I don't know how to say his name. If anyone knows, pop it in the comments. But he's on the attack. He nearly lost the ball, but recovered it quite well on the rebound. He skimmed a couple of people inside out. Is he going to drill it on the deck for a tap in? He might. He is, and he does. Gabriel Silva's got his second of the season, second of the game, and we are on. I'm not going to say fire, but there's some embers are glowing in this new look Man 62 team. He does really well here, actually. Cut inside that fullback there, drills it towards the back post, and that's what you want. Make your life easy for your forward, and they'll bag. So 2-0 Man 62. Delightful start to this game. Start, maybe not, 30 minutes in. Delightful first half so far. In swinging corner to the near post, I hope it is, and it's both post and comes out, and Victor is there to score his first of the campaign. Our 18-year-old centre-back captain, who is Gibraltar, who's homegrown at club, who we got from the youth academy. And, I mean, look at that. Off both posts and bing, in it goes. Go on, Victor, lad. He's off the mark for the year ahead. Alanis is also having a bit of a mare in goal, but he spent most of his time picking it out, really. Can't really blame him, I suppose, that much. So, another highlight. Van Houten's just playing it upfield to Sancho. Sancho's got it out left. He's going to cut inside like he should. He's not. Oh, what shame. A little Rabona assist there, nearly. Good keeping, to be fair. It was at point blank right at him, but, I love that little Rabona dink into the forward, though. That was nice. Diarra again up. He's always winning them headers. He just needs to get them on target more. And we might see a few headed goals from him this year. So, first half is over. 4 shots on target. 3 goals ahead. We're convincing taking the lead here, right? We are looking good. Okay, so more of the same, please, in the second half. I did, in fact, put a left back backup on the bench in Tobias Biondi. So he has come on now to make his debut for us, because Gadalcio was just, he was absolutely chewing oxygen in that first half. He is tired. He's coming back from an injury. Had a bit of a fitness problem pre-season, so we are going to have to switch him out for Biondi. I haven't got the backup left back available because of injury or suspension, sorry. Who needs him though? Gabriel Silva on his debut. He's got a hat-trick and a lovely little assist from our new playmaker Van Houten. Here's the problem. He's going to cause me problems this year because this guy, right, is on paper better than Matsuo, who is our playmaker that you've seen last season, Brazilian, 18-year-old, 19 now, who was brilliant last year, but I think Van Houten's going to push him to start in most games ahead of him now, I think. However, let's forget that for a moment. Let's just pause and take off some stuff, because what we have got is a European game coming up, and we need to think about swapping out some of these guys. So we're going to take off Gabriel and put Victor on because he needs a bit of game time. We're also going to take off Diarra. We're probably going to take off Riquelme as well. Ideally, Jadon Sancho doesn't play the entire game, but I'm going to have to at this rate, I think. But let's go with that, and let's carry on. So as I was saying, I've got some players here that can push last year's sort of safeguard and ever-presence for time in this matchup, in this squad, which is good, right? Because normally you just default to playing the best team every single time. Now, I feel like I've got an embarrassment of riches, which is good when we're in multiple competitions, i.e. Europe, but it's not so great if we get to the inevitable place where we're only competing for the league and we have to try and switch up as much as possible to keep people happy. We have got a shot on goal, and look at that. Victor comes on for his first game of the season, and, well, I say first game, you would have seen he scored 7 goals this year so far, but that's including the European games that we've played, but he ain't going to score an easier goal than that, I don't think, for a while. So Riquelme comes on, has an impact, as does Insaurralde. He has a little dig at goal. Was it? I'm going to say that's the dig at goal, and I think Victor stole it off him, because that was probably going bottom right. Who cares though, right? It's 5-0, we're convincing winners, and that is 3 points in the bag in the first game of the season. This is a slight problem, because Gadalcio's now injured for 5 to 6 weeks, injured through wear and tear. I feel like that's my fault. I probably shouldn't have played him in the last game, but again, that goes back, that's me being naive. I probably should have started Biondi, in all honesty, because he's our first choice left back at the moment. Benitez was suspended. I don't think he's registered for the European qualification. What? He's not. He can't. So the next match, I am struggling for a left back. That is not ideal. Okay, so here is our game against Young Boys. Here is the team that is starting the match ahead. It's Hubert Graksik in net. His good forms followed through to start this game. I have got their first team goalkeeper on the bench. He's not fully fit, so I don't normally put a keeper on the bench, but, you know, he's in there today. I've got a back four of Williams, Manuel, Victor and Sadiq. Sadiq's normally a right full-back, but he's the only one that's anywhere remotely can play left-back at the moment from the squad that I've got available, so he is in. And I've got this midfield pairing of our developmental players from our youth squad that have come through. Victor's now our club captain at 18. He's brilliant. I love the guy. So Manuel's right beside him. He's developing really well at 19, Spanish, not yet international fully fledged, but he's capped at under 19 level, so they play together again. In midfield, I've got the ball midfielder of Osman Diarra yet again, and also a playmaker in Colin Van Houten. Out wide right, Quentin Agius, whatever. Inside forward left is Jadon Sancho, and in the number 10 position is Gisandro Machuo, who normally occupies Colin's space, but see if we can get them both in today, see how they play together. And up top, obviously, we've got Gabriel Silva. He scored a hat-trick last time round, so more of the same, please. Okay, so the teams are coming out the tunnel. You know, the usual sort of Europa League anthem starts to blare out here. Normally, it kind of annoys me how it I don't like it really, but it doesn't matter. What matters is we're in it anyway. I should turn that off really, because especially when I'm streaming, I've got music on. That kind of gets in the way. Anyway, we've defended our first corner. A first free kick, quite well. We've managed to get the ball and do absolutely nothing with it. For some reason, rather than try and run it out from the back, Agius, I need to think of another name for him, just clears it, which is a bit of a silly thing to do. In fact, we're going to start calling that guy by his first name. The throw on goal, keeper comes out and collects it really well. What's his first name? His first name is Quentin. We're just going to call him Quentin, right? In fact, I might change his name as a nickname to Quentin, because I'm going to start defaulting to try and say that surname. It's going to sound silly all the time. So Quentin it is. Anyway, nevertheless, we're on the defence again. They're piling forward. The through on goal, I think that's offside, right? Now, I do need glasses normally. I don't need them there. I'm confident that guy has stepped off the second to last defender, and we are going to get a goal disallowed notification here. Obviously, of course we did. That's a warning sign, though. 5 minutes in, they've gone on one attack. Well, 2 attacks really, and we've conceded from it. I know it was offside, but it's a warning sign. Let's do a bit of encouragement. We're on the corner though. We are attacking corners. That was our prep for this match, by the way, because we're not getting enough from these. And look at that. Go on, Quentin. From the edge of the box, fires it in with thunder for his second. Is it second of the season so far? And we take probably I won't say a well-deserved lead, but I suppose you get what you deserve in football, right? Most of the time. And I think that's a good effort. Keeper probably could have done a bit better, but who cares? It's 1-0 to Man 62, and we are looking good for our money here. Although we're defending what looks like a throw-in. It wasn't a Roy Delap style throw-in. Now, I don't think that was in the box, but I didn't quite catch that straight away. Was it on the edge of the box? Maybe on the line? It is no penalty. Fine, take it. I like that. That looked a little bit debatable, to be fair. Had me worried there slightly. Jaden's a little bit tired this first half. I knew that would happen. He's played a lot recently. I have got a left winger that can come and sub in for him normally, but in the Europa League, I can't really fulfill my squad obligations because of the homegrown rules, which I always fall foul of. I get giddy of signing new players. I haven't got the youth players that are good enough to develop, to make us challenge in Europe just yet. So I've just got to live with that, really. I think I've made a mistake this year. Renell Young played for us. You've seen him on the save before. We signed him on a free from Liverpool. He's played for us for a couple of years now. More in the second half, please. And I've loaned him out this year to get some game time that I didn't think he'd get. The second I loaned him out, I got an inbox message through. He's now homegrown. We throw on goal here. Finish. Didn't finish. I think that was offside anyway, debatable, but we're going to carry on nonetheless. So I made a mistake letting him go out on loan because he's a squad player. He'd have been happy subbing in on his weaker left-hand side to help us out. He'd have been homegrown, so good for the squads, but never mind. He's getting game time, and I've just signed him up for another 2 years, though, purely for that homegrown status, because he's good to have around for that. So, let's see if we can win this ball back. Anyway, enough of my chitter-chatter about Renell Young. We've got a goal here. I was going to say we've got a goal attempt here that we're about to try and stop, and we conceded it. It was coming, right? You know, these are really a good enough team to test us. That right back probably didn't help there. He's not a natural right back. He's not the first choice, but I have to put him in because of the squad that I've got. That was a great finish, by the way. Yeah, we just need to stop that ball coming from the right-hand side. Right, there's a few people that are tiring here, so I'm going to use my bench ever so wisely. So, Jaden's having a mare. So let's bring on Victor at left wing. I know he's not great there, but can Quentin do a little bit for us? Probably not. Just as bad there, never mind. I'm probably also going to take off Colin and put Isandro to drop in. And I'm going to bring on Burdick to do his job there. This guy's been recommended, Burdick, to go back to the 23s. I think he's good enough to get a spot in this game. In this team. Not starting, maybe in the league, but I think he's good enough, stat-wise, to start doing bits for us when we need him to. He looks relatively okay. Not so much. Was that him that got the ball away there? No, it was Quentin. But Burdick's on the ball. He's in the box. He's lost it. Brilliant. Shame. And we're going to go on they're counter-attacking now from Burdick losing the ball. I've just told you he's good enough to get a spot in his team, and he's come on and made me look a right numpty. So we're defending on the left. Great ball in. What a save that was. That was a fantastic save from Hubert. They've all got mad names, I can't say. Great save from the keeper. Diarra's up to clear it out from the box. We've given a foul away. Come on, lad. We shouldn't be doing that there. Quentin's blowing a little bit, so I'm guessing 70th minute mark. It feels sensible to take him off. We're going to bring Paolo on for... he's normally our first choice right winger, but Quentin's solid this year. I was worried then why we got a highlight of a foul, but yeah, didn't like that way. Right, so we've got a positive intent in this game. Let's go balanced, just to not be silly about it, but let's encourage at the same time. I feel like we've done okay in this game. I know we've beaten them in the pre-season, the qualifiers stages earlier. We've probably not done ourselves that much justice in this game today because we probably should have taken control of it more, especially this. And that's a poor goal to concede. That really poor. I'm not sure if the keeper could have done more with this, but letting him drive it so far ahead, just to loosely clear, that's the problem when you've got players that are unnatural playing that position. They just panic. I tell you what though, the keeper should have done much better with that. Even if he parried it away to his left-hand side. Can we try and get a bit of attacking last few minutes, you know? Could we? Could we steal an equaliser here? Williams throws it into Burdick. Burdick plays it back into Williams. Williams thinking what to do to Sergio. To Silva. Oh. He's offside, isn't he? Yeah. Shame. He's done nothing today, Gabriel Silva. Hot off the back of a hat-trick. Comes in and does absolutely now. Well, service has not been great for him. 6 shots on target, though. So we need to be more clinical, but I would have thought we'd have got a result out of that. Well, if you've liked that, please subscribe for more. Like the video if you've liked it. Comment for any questions you want answered, any suggestions about the team, anything whatsoever, really. And thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.